you doing, everyone? It's Ray with you once again. If this is your first time to my YouTube channel, welcome to On the Road with Yeshua, as I share my experiences on the road as a rookie trucker and what the Lord Yeshua is doing in my life. You know, I really haven't mentioned a whole lot about what God has been doing in my life, and that probably would be a good thing because I haven't really mentioned much of it lately. For one thing, He's given me incredible willpower to overcome my cigarette addiction. Wow. I didn't have the camera on that, but I just went by some guys, got a whole ton of hay, and he turned that corner and it went like this. He almost lost it. He even slowed down. He probably realized it. But anyhow, like I said, I'm on day 5 now without smoking any cigarettes. I've been using my my vapor cigarette. And some might say, well, it's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing because you're only getting nicotine with this. And I don't really smoke it as much. It's also not the same thing because it's not costing me $9 a day to smoke this. I think it's costing me maybe 25 cents a day. Huge difference. I've been tempted on picking up a cigarette or buying some. But you know something? Every single time that I walk by somebody or I walk by a truck, I can smell tobacco. Like, some of you that might be old enough to remember this, back in the olden days when they used to allow smoking in hospitals, in hospital waiting rooms. I'm not that old, but I do remember it when I was a teenager. Even as far back as the 80s. I wonder if it was the 80s. Might have been the early 90s when I remember that you used to be able to smoke in a waiting room. But anyhow, you used to smell that really gross nicotine smell, tobacco smell, waiting room stink. Or when you walk into an area where there's a smoking area outside and you can really smell it. I can really smell that now. When I'm in a room with 3 or 4 people, or I'll walk into a truck stop and I'm at the till, I can pretty well figure out who smokes and who doesn't because you can smell it on them. And that really helps me change my mind whether or not I want to go back to smoking or not. I noticed in the last few days I've been doing a lot of coughing and my lungs are starting to clear up. I know it's going to take longer than that. But this is doing the job, and I thank God for working through my sister and my mom to introduce me to this, because this has made a huge difference financially and for my health. I mean, if you think about how many chemicals are in a cigarette, the nicotine is one. That's the addictive part. Then you've got the tar and the cyanide and the carbon dioxide, monoxide, whatever's in there. It's just horrendous what's in those things. And I'm not going to be one of these people that don't want to stand around or talk to people who smoke. I've been there. I know what it feels like. But I'm going to try to encourage as many people as I can to get one of these things because they really work. They really, really work. I didn't think they would. I was very skeptical. I didn't think it would work. But it does. And I'm not getting any really bad withdrawals. No ashes. Doesn't leave a stink in your truck. I put an air freshener back here the other day. I can still smell it. And I think I make a huge difference too you walk up to somebody and you don't smell like an ashtray. My ashtray, I put it away. So like I said, I'm on day 5 now, which is really good. I'm doing well. So I'm hoping throughout the winter I'll use this, and then maybe after, when I get my next batch, I'll drop my nicotine level down to 8, because right now I think I'm at 16. Then you drop it down to 8, I believe it is, and then down to 4, and then down to 2, and you can even drop it down to 0 and still get the same sensation that you're smoking, but you're not really inhaling any nicotine. But to me, I don't know if I want to go that far. If I get down to 2, that's pretty low dosage. So I also want to thank God for like the situation with my youngest daughter. She's been incredibly rebellious. She's been doing whatever she wants. She took off like a week ago. I know she must be okay because I haven't heard anybody. No, but the police haven't called me yet. I know there's a social worker trying to work on helping her find another place. Set her up with independent living or something like that. But the Lord has... Normally I think...
59 kilometers. Keep left. Highway 5 northbound towards Barrett.
I know where I'm going. Shut up. But normally I'd probably be in a bit of a panic, not knowing where she is, or just not being able to relax or be comfortable. And I haven't had any of that. I put my trust completely in Him that He will take care of her, and asked Him to kind of harden my heart in a way where it's not something I'm going to dwell on. So, and He's done that. I'm feeling really good. I'm still going through some trials, of course, with everyday things like we all do. But He has really, really blessed my life. Since I started this job, I've noticed that my relationship with Him is getting stronger. It started off slowly because I was getting used to the runs, and there was a lot of distractions, and now the winter's here. But I can really see my relationship with Him going into the next gear when springtime rolls around, because we'll be through the winter. I'll be able to relax a little bit more, and yeah. So, taking baby steps right now. I don't want to rush what He's doing in my life. I just want to take it one day at a time. I do have some good news to report. I told you that I got some new headlights for the truck. Wasn't very impressed with them. They're not very bright. So I got back to the shop today to pick up this load and asked them if they could adjust the headlights so they're a little lower, because I think that was the problem. They're just too high. And the guy couldn't adjust them because the adjustment screws were all corroded. So he says, well, I'm going to have to replace the whole housing. I went, okay. So I figured they're going to change the house. Oh boy. Oh, okay, sorry. Thought this guy's load was ready to fall off, but it was just a delusion. So he ended up changing the right side, the passenger side housing, the whole housing, which is brand new, totally clear, the glass in the front, totally clear, brand new light. And I went, oh, that's awesome, man. I'm going to have some really good light off of these, even with the stock bulbs. And he says, okay, we're all done. And I went, well, what about the other side? What about the driver's side? And he goes, well, those are adjustable. I went, yeah, but you've got one side that's totally clear and one side that's 3 years old, the wear and tear and scuff marks that are on the glass. Any chance you can change them both so I have equal, lighting? He says, they're pretty expensive. I went, please. So he says, he said, all right, I'll change them. So I got both housings on the truck are brand new. So tonight when I'm driving, I'm really hoping to see a noticeable difference. And I'll do a little bit of recording to show you what the difference might be. So I'll kind of evaluate that, and then what I'll do is I might change the bulbs back to the originals and see if the lighting is any different. I know the lighting's a little bit better, so I don't know. I might just leave them in there and just write off my loss. It's better than taking them back out, and I don't even know if Lordco, I don't even know if they'll take back a bulb that still works. But it sure wasn't worth the $80. I'll tell you that much. But we'll see tonight. Maybe the difference will be bigger. They might have a longer lasting life too. So apparently those bulbs are good for a whole year. So that might be worth it in itself, that by the time they burn out, I might just, if they burn out in 6 months, I'll take them back and say they burned out. I just want to get a refund because they weren't bright enough anyway. But the guys at Lordco, they're pretty good. They're pretty good there. I also got some new wipers. I figured why not while I'm in there. So we'll see how long those last. Probably another 2 weeks maybe if I'm lucky. But if those start to go, what I'm going to do is I'll just go get a good pair of wipers and switch the one in the driver's side, put the other good one away, and once this one starts to wear a bit, I'll throw it on the other side and put the other new one on here. Why not, eh? So right now, currently I'm on my way back to Calgary. So, and I looked at the weather forecast, and the weather looks really good. I don't see any cloud cover. I use an app. It's called Global Sky Tracker. If you go in your app store or your place, whatever it's called, Google Play, whatever. It's called Global Sky Tracker, and it's really good, actually. It monitors all the different weather stations. It gives you like a satellite image of where the clouds are. Specifically the rain clouds, the snow clouds, whether it's snow mixed with rain, whether it's freezing, all that information it provides you, which is really cool. And I took a good look right across the province into Alberta, and I didn't see any clouds at all today, so I'm really hoping it's clear and I can just drive right through, minus, getting fuel and maybe a bite to eat or a coffee. So yeah, that is about it for now. Onward to Calgary we go, hopefully without incident. Well, we are currently in Kamloops, and we have a flat tire on the trailer. So it wasn't flat when I left the yard. It must have happened on the way up here. But I guess those things happen. There's not a whole lot of tread on that one tire that's flat. And I'm right at the scale here, so I can't really drive through the scale with it like that because they'll definitely pull me over. So I've had to call the head office, call breakdown, and tell them about it. So I've dispatched it, or should I say I've sent it off to them. I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting here. I have no idea. But you know what? It's okay because I only took 8 hours off yesterday. So technically today I have to make up the extra 2 hours because I didn't take my full 10. So here's an opportunity. If it takes me 2 hours to, if it takes 2 hours to get this fixed. Well, we're right in Kamloops. It shouldn't take that long, you would think. I mean, there should be a shop pretty close by. I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone here within minutes. That can't be him already. No, there's somebody parked over here. It says utility and services, but that's definitely not him. Yeah, so I'm assuming there's probably going to be somebody here within maybe a half an hour, hopefully, where I'm only delayed an hour, and then I can take the other hour and use that maybe and get some dinner. So, fun. Did I tell them what the trailer number was? No, I didn't, you moron. Now I gotta send another one now. Didn't think. Okay. I'm supposed to send the trailer number and I forgot to do that, so that's what I had to take care of. This load doesn't really have to be in Calgary until 11 a.m. It doesn't have to be dropped off, I think, until 11 a.m. Man, I'm constantly clearing my throat. Yeah, so it doesn't really have to be there. Until 11 a.m. So, even if I'm sitting here for 3 hours, I should still be able to make it to my destination okay. The only thing I wanted to avoid was driving through Rogers Pass when it was dark. Simply because the other drivers are just nuts, and it's the more visual you can see, the better. But I may be blessed with these new lights I have, so we'll wait and see. So I just want to give you an update. We're stuck here in Kamloops. Maybe I'll put together my other video while I'm waiting. We'll talk to you in a few. Hey folks, we're back again. We finally got ourselves repaired and had to stop at the Flying J over here to get fuel. And I just wanted to show you something that's really funny. It's really difficult to see right now because this is still relatively bright around here, but I don't know if it's the combination of the new lights and the new housing. But my headlights are insanely bright. I can't tell you how much that makes me happy that I can see the frickin' road. See, I can get away with it. I can say frickin'. Or flippin'. There we go. Flippin'. Can you believe this? I mean, you can even notice the difference on the ground with all the street lights. Watch when I go on the off ramp, you'll really notice a difference. It's just crazy. I can't believe the difference. It's like 80% brighter with the lights and the new housing. I mean, just look at how bright this is. And if you want to know how bright it was before, I'm not kidding you. It was like that. It's just, isn't that crazy? My driving lights, my bumper lights were brighter before. Now that you don't even really notice them. You notice them a little bit, but not quite like these. I cannot wait to turn on the high beams. Look at this. That's crazy. Thank you, Lord. I'll show you again a little bit later on I mean, you can actually see the road now. That's one of the reasons why I didn't record a whole lot at night, was because you couldn't see the road. You know, what's the sense of recording something if you can't see? That's the what I say, anyway. You see that little line that's across it? That's not actually something in front of it. That's where the headlights, so you can see where that light's up there. But that's where they start, which is perfect. And you can see ahead of me there on how far they shine, but it's still amazingly brighter. Cannot believe the difference. What a difference. It's like night and day. Total difference. Well, good morning, everybody. It is currently right now 7:51 Mountain Time. And it is officially, I think it is Wednesday. Yep, Wednesday. Stayed in Golden last night. Realized that I got a really bad coolant leak. I think I'm leaking about a liter every 100 kilometers, which is not very good. So I checked my hours, and it turns out by the time I get back to Aldergrove, I'll have about 18 hours left, maybe 17. Not enough for a round trip. So when I get back Thursday, I'm going to submit this truck in to get it fixed, find out why it's leaking. I was told by one of the other mechanics last week that one of the O-rings is leaking a little bit of fluid. And he said, just keep fluid with you, but I've been topping it up every 400 kilometers. So it's a real problem, so they're going to have to fix it. So fortunately, they'll have Friday to do that. And maybe I can head back out Sunday morning or Monday morning, whatever they want to do. But right now we're in field, and it is nice weather. It's about well, it says it's -1, but I don't know if I believe that. Yeah, maybe it is. Or the weather conditions might be off of it. Now it's going to -2. Weather changes pretty fast when your truck is losing coolant. Now it's at -3. As soon as I went into that dip, it cooled, it warmed right up, and now I'm going back up the hill now, and now it's cooling down again. So, fortunately, or should I say the unfortunate thing is, whenever this engine's working hard, I'm losing more coolant. Fortunately, when I get to the top of Field Hill, it's pretty well flat most of the way. So, I'm hoping I won't lose too much while I'm climbing this hill. So we'll have to see what happens. But I can tell you one thing, man. It's nerve-wracking driving like in Rogers Pass and in this neck of the woods here, not knowing if your truck is going to break down any minute because it's one of the seals have totally burst or whatever it is. So I'm really hoping to get my location. I'm actually totally out of water now. I had a whole, 10-liter thing of coolant. I had that in there. Plus I had 4 liters of water. That's all gone now. Just from Aldergrove to here. So I have to find I'm gonna have to call the office a little later on when I finally get rid of this load and ask them where I can get some coolant on, one of the gas cards, and at least have some with me just in case case I lose too much. So we'll have to see what happens. But right now, the weather is clear. It's not, the weather conditions are pretty nice. Roads are clear, rather, what I meant to say. And we got blue sky out there. And apparently it's supposed to be like this all day today, so what I would like to do is get into Calgary, drop this load off, pick up the other one, and head back as soon as I can. That's the plan. Because I think we're supposed to get some snow out here tomorrow, so I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. Because it just slows you right down. I'll tell you one of the best views on this entire run to Calgary is the one right in front of us here when you're coming into Banff. The mountains are covered in snow. It's just a majestic view. It's just absolutely breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. It's just gorgeous. We are currently on our way back to Aldergrove. It's been a very eventful day. We dropped off our load in Calgary, and I'm telling you something, that is one lousy place to back a trailer in. Probably the tightest squeeze I've had yet to deal with. Literally, the loading dock is here, and here's the road. So for you to back into that loading dock, you're literally blocking traffic immediately. And you have to back in on a 90, or should I say on a 45-degree angle, literally. And I went in there and said, "Hi, how you doing?" I couldn't get one guy to look at me. There's like 4 guys in an office. They're like, "Yeah, okay, just do whatever, just put it into that pay over there." I'm like, "Okay, thanks." So I back it in and I wait. An hour later, they finally unload me. Green light comes on, which means they're done. So I go out back inside, and I'm not going to mention who they are because I don't want to really reveal where we drop our loads off. But it wasn't a highly respected company by any means, so probably not one that you know of. Maybe the other truckers do. So I go in there to get my paperwork. The guy gives it to me, signs it, and just pushes it in front of me and walks away. Doesn't say thanks, have a nice day, nothing. I went, "Thanks, have a nice day." Most miserable group of people I've ever seen. Totally miserable. Why even be at a job that you can't even have a smile? Yeah, whatever. And then we had to go to Airdrie in Alberta. That's about 30 minutes away from Calgary, going north. And pick up a load there, and that's what I got now. And I'm heading now back to Aldergrove. Going through, or should I say heading to Canmore here. Just beautiful sky out there. Nice weather. Been having a lot of issues with my coolant leaking. Apparently one of the seals, mechanic said one of the O-rings that goes to the heater bunk. Try that again. Bunk heater. Heater bunk. I wish there was a cure for dyslexia, I really do. Bunk heater. Apparently one of the seals on it, which is a common thing, is probably leaking, he said. Because when you turn on the bunk heater, you can smell antifreeze. So, it was leaking pretty good on the way up here. I've had to top it up 2 or 3 times. And I just topped it up heading back. So hopefully, and I had to buy some antifreeze, 2 jugs of it, 20 bucks a piece. I couldn't believe it. $40 for antifreeze. I'm going to get reimbursed for it again, but I just can't believe the way these truck stops, how they rip people off. It's just unreal. I bet you I can get the same antifreeze at Canadian Tire for $12 or $13. Like $20 for the antifreeze. What a rip off. But anyway, I needed antifreeze. You can't just put water in. So I filled up a jug of water, a big jug. Plus I got 4 liters, I don't know what's in there. But anyway, 2 jugs of antifreeze. Put the first jug in there, and when I have to top it up again, I'll add some water to it. Because it's really, really thick stuff. So, I'll water it down a little bit just to save the company some money. Hate the idea of having to put that antifreeze in, and then by the time I get home, it's all literally washed down the drain. So, but anywho, we are on our way. We are on our way to save the day. I'll be doing a reset when I get home, and then the company has a Christmas party that me and my daughter are going to go to, or should I say, my daughter and I are going to. Might as well. We can mingle around with some of the other employees and have a bite to eat, and enjoy the weekend. Find out tomorrow if they're going to set me up with a plan for Sunday morning or Monday morning. I don't know, but by the time I get home, I'll have about 18 hours left. Not enough time to do a round trip even to Prince George with that. I might have even considered heading back to Calgary and doing a reset there, but they have the Christmas party there, and I also have an appointment on Saturday at 11 o'clock to do something else. So this week went really fast. I only got 2 runs in this week, though. What can you do? Probably could have gotten 2 in, or 3 rather, but I did have that one trip to Edmonton, and then I had to go down to where did I have to go to? Drive halfway between Edmonton and Calgary and pick something up there, and then I had to go back. But anyway, Innisfail, that's what it was. So that kind of ate up my hours. I probably, if I wouldn't have had to do that, I probably would have had enough hours to get another run in. But because of that run, I couldn't. But that's okay anyhow. I'm expecting to make a little less money during the winter because simply because of the weather conditions, the delays. But I think I'm going to break even because I'm not spending my money on cigarettes. Just look at the way the sun is reflecting off of these mountains. Just spectacular. I bet you the skiing would be amazing. Just spectacular. Just so beautiful. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm really looking forward to, and that is the spring. Watching all the new buds and the flowers and all the trees blooming, that is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see that. I just wanted to give you another look. It's not quite completely dark out right now, but at least gives you a good idea. I don't know if I had a video of what it was like driving at night with the other lights that I had. But I think it's a combination with the new housing they put on the other day and these bulbs that I got. But you can see, at least I can see the road now, which is kind of nice. And there's actually positioned really well. They're positioned on the road, so the whole time I had them on yesterday coming up here at night, not one person high beamed me, except I was going up a steep grade, and of course the four-wheeler coming down high beams me like a moron. I guess he doesn't realize, hey, guess what? He's facing upward because he's going up a hill. But he still decided to high beam me anyway, so I flashed him with the high beams, and he took his high beams off real fast after that. So we're just driving to Kicking Horse Canyon here. And if you've never seen this before, there's nice little snake turns in here before you get into Golden. You gotta be extra careful going through here, especially when it's at night, because it gets a little icy through here, and you certainly don't want to make a mistake going through here, because just to the left of me over there is a pretty nasty drop. About 11, 12, 1,500 foot drop over there. And it's right off the edge too, so you're not gonna survive that one, I'll tell you that right now. But right now they're building another, they want to turn this into a 4-laner. I don't know how they're going to do that, or at least some of it they're going to turn into a 4-lane. I'm surprised they haven't found a better way to direct traffic through here. But I think if everybody obeys the signs, like you're supposed to be doing 40 through a lot of these turns, you know, you'll be all right. Right now I got some guy on my tail right now with his dumb, stupid bumper lights on, some four-wheeler. That's another thing I don't understand, why these cars just don't seem to realize how blinding those lights are. There goes again, slipping out of gear. Cannot stand the transmission in these Volvos. You try to gear down, you split it, and you go down one gear, and sometimes it'll jump right out of gear. But whenever I come through here, it doesn't really matter what the time of the year it is. I always take it slow going through here. Just in case there's somebody else coming up the other way who's in your lane. You just never know. Or there's lots of bighorn sheep up here too, so it's always good to it's always good to go through here slow so you don't hit any of the animals. I can imagine what it's like for somebody going through this for the first time. I remember what it was like for me when I went through here for the first time. I was a little nervous, but I just didn't pay attention to what was on the other side of that median on the left there, or that barrier that's there. And that's it for the snake turns. I will say one thing, this new housing they put on the truck sure is a huge difference. Before I couldn't even see my high beams when I was on the cam, now you can. Well, we made it to Kamloops, and I'll tell you something funny too. You won't be able to see that. As we left Revelstoke, it started to snow there. And then as we drove through Sycamoose, Salmon Arm, Sorrento, the snow started to get thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. And I just finished checking on the phone on BC whatever, mybc.ca or whatever it is. I can't think right now, I'm really tired. I checked the traffic cam. It's snowing like a bugger up on the pass. I got out of there just in time. So, I'm happy with that. Just finished checking my hours. Looks like I have, when I finally get back to home, I'm going to have about maybe 19 or 20 hours left. I'm ready to go to sleep. So, I'm going to say goodnight to you and catch up with you probably when I head out next week after the weekend. I don't know if they're going to dispatch me for Sunday morning or Monday morning. I don't know what they're going to do. But we'll see what happens. Until then, yeah, I guess I'll talk to you in the morning when I wake up, because I still have another 3 hours to go for driving to get home. And who knows what will happen then. There may be snow up on the Cook by then. I have no idea. Forecast says rain, so I don't know. We'll have to see. It's so much warmer here. Wow. Clear sky. Looks pretty clear. But yeah, in Calgary last night it was, or today, it was minus 15 going through Lake Louise. It's pretty cold. And it was like minus 17 or 18 in Edmonton the other day. So the temperatures are starting to drop. Winter is starting to show up. So I think we're just getting into it now. So we got about another 4 months of this crap. No, maybe not 4 months. Let's see. December, January, February, kind of March. Down to about 3.5 months to go. I hope. But it's been a really mild winter so far. I've been very blessed. I expected to see a lot worse conditions right now, but we're already into December shortly. Anyway, I'm babbling because I'm tired. So I'll see you when I wake up. Good morning, folks. How you doing? It's Ray here once again. I am awake. It is 7:36.
After 50 meters, turn right, Industrial Access Road.
Okay, first things first, shut off Big Mouth here because she doesn't know when to shut off.
After 80 meters, turn right, Industrial Access Road. After 80 meters...
Shut up, stifle. There we go. Yeah, anyway, so had a really good sleep. Good solid 8 hours of rest. Makes me happy. Actually, you know what? I might have slept longer than that. I think I slept 9 hours. But I really needed it because the last couple days I've been waking up like after 6 or 7 hours of sleep, which has been fine, but kind of catches up with you after a while. So my final day of driving before I go to my reset, it's kind of nice to catch up on your sleep, and I'm not sleeping through the whole weekend, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Catching up on sleep on the last day, and I feel pretty good this morning. I looked at the road conditions. Kogala Highway looks pretty good. I was going to get a coffee here at the Flying J, but they never have decaf, and Denny's charges $2.90 for a small cup of coffee in Kamloops. So, I ain't thirsty for coffee anymore. I'd rather have a good orange juice in the morning than pay those ridiculous, outrageous, phenomenal prices. Yeah. So I'm just about ready to go. I have to wait until the clock strikes 7:45 before I can legally drive, because that's when I set myself up on my log, when I can start. And then we'll head on home up the Kokawala Highway. Kakawala? Sometimes it's like Kaka going up there. Kokawala. Yeah, looks like, I don't know if you can see that or not. Kind of see those kind of hills and like, here, let me adjust you a little bit here. Kind of see those kind of hills like in Arizona, don't you? Yeah, you just drive up to Kamloops and all of a sudden you're in the desert. Almost seems like the desert anyway. Just gotta check my tires. One of my drives looked a little bit low, so I've been keeping an eye on it, but I think it's just because I think the way they positioned a bit of the load on the front of the trailer might be a little bit tinier bit heavier on my left side on the front of the trailer, so it's looking like the tire's low, but it seems to have the same PSI in it, so I think I'll be all right. All right. I like this. Alternative route. 1 minute faster, this GPS is telling me. Now, the funny thing is, there's only one way I can go to my route, so I don't know how it could be faster. Trans-Canada, 1 westbound, Highway 97. I don't know how that is faster. 1 minute faster. Ooh, let's splurge. Whatever. It didn't improve. It didn't. It says I'm going to get there at 10:49 before the alternative route, and now it says with the alternative route 10:49. So it's a liar. Day 7. I'm doing awesome with this e-cigarette. Really does the job. I got a lot of people asking me, "What are you doing? What are you smoking?" Because it looks like a heroin pipe. It does, because it's got glass and everything. And I probably other drivers seeing me injecting it with the little bottle I have. It looks like I'm putting a syringe in there. Guy's smoking opium, man. That's what it looks like, an opium pipe. I just don't smoke it when I'm going through the scale, just in case they want to stop me and ask me about it, and then I end up wasting my time. Breakfast of Champions. It is orange juice. Much better, much cheaper than a $2.90 coffee. Do you know something? I would pay $2.90 for a cup of coffee, but not at Denny's. It tastes like dishwater. And when you go in there, you have to put your cream in, of course, and then you have to sit there and put like 10 pounds of sugar in it. And little packages, you got to open each little package up. They just don't have a thing that you can go like this. It takes like 20 minutes just to get your coffee made, and it tastes like dishwater anyway. The only place I would pay $2.90 for a coffee is Tim Hortons. That's it. It is time. 7:45. I'm ready to go. I was going to switch the headlights out that I have with the stock ones to see if there's any difference with the new housing. But I couldn't get the caps off. The guys got them on so friggin' tight, I couldn't get them off. So guess what? I guess I'm keeping them. Can't get them off anyway. And you know what? They were both changed at the same time, and they're supposed to last a year. So just, I don't really care. I'll just write the headlights off on my tax return. I don't really care. And I think the weather looks pretty good on the Coke. I looked at some of the cams, but you know what? Those could also be a little deceiving too. How about it? Any drivers heading eastbound? How's the Coke Highway looking up there this morning?
Beautiful day for a drive. Report.
I think I heard you say it looks good up there, in so many words. Thank you very much, driver. I appreciate that.
Well, taking it too. Let's go with this.
Here you go, from the horse's mouth.